welcome back to another video. This is gonna be a good one. In fact, this is a special one, right? Everyone that's in this boat understands and is aware of the reality that can happen when you have diabetes, or if you're on that path to where you could potentially get it, right? So that's why I wanted to make a video. And as a type 1 diabetic myself, I've gone through many of the bumps and the frustrations, the anxiety, the stress that diabetes brings in your life. And it's a lot to handle upon yourself, but it's very stressful and tough on your loved ones as well. So, which is why I wanted to get on here and just discuss the importance of your health and why it's important to take care of it and why I do, as well as what you guys can do. And especially if you're a type 2 or if you're pre-diabetic, the things that you can do to avoid it completely. And with that being said, it's actually quite simple. I don't want to get on here and ramble too long, but what it comes down to is just your lifestyle. Especially as a type 2 or a pre-diabetic, you actually have the ability to control everything. You control how you live your day-to-day life. You control when you exercise, how often you exercise, what you're eating exactly, and just how you take care of your body. If you're not managing your health and you're not going to the gym, you're not active in some type of way, or if you're not eating the right foods and you're just binging on junk food all day long and just, falling off the wagon, then it's gonna take a toll on your health. Think of it as like a credit card, right? You have a credit card, but if you don't understand money to the point, and especially if you don't understand how credit works, and you just spend money on your credit card, you spend money and spend money, eventually you get a balance, and that balance will continue to grow and grow and grow. Not to mention, you're gonna get hit with the interest rate, and that is gonna pile up. And that's pretty much what it comes down to when it comes down to your health. The more days that you spend not exercising and just eating junk food, that's gonna start to add up. Your body's gonna start to break down inside. You're gonna start to get more sick. And what a lot of people don't realize is your pancreas is an organ in your body that secretes insulin. So what happens is the insulin in your body balances out your blood sugar levels, so they don't run too high and they're not running too low. They're stable, especially when you eat something. And like a lot of the things that people tend to eat is high calorie foods. They go to a fast food place, like they go to McDonald's, they go to Burger King, they have candy, they have they have pizza, they drink beer, ice cream, And I understand, people, they want to enjoy themselves from time to time, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're not bad, they're not horrible people for doing that. But it's important to be aware of what that stuff can do to you if you don't grasp and get a hold of it. Just like with your spending habits. Like if you don't grasp a hold of your spending habits and realize you're just throwing money away. You're throwing money away. You're not saving it. You're not using it and leveraging it the correct way that you should be leveraging it and utilizing it, And that's the same thing when it comes to your health. You're essentially playing with fire, and it's even worse. Like you eat all those caloric foods, your body has to spend all this time breaking that crap down. And your digestion has to work twice as hard. That's typically why I hear a lot of people when they're like, man, I'm so tired, after they just had a large, fast food meal from McDonald's, or they had even a slice of pizza, can do some serious damage. And it all comes down to just what you're putting in your body. And what your body can handle, because your body has a limit. Your body really has a limit on what it can take. And it's so sad to see people that, you know, they don't exercise and they eat whatever they want, and they have these problems later down the line. Then you go to the doctor's office, and then they tell you, hey, you're pre-diabetic, your A1C is a little too high. You know, your sugars are out of control. If you don't get a grip on this now, you're gonna become diabetic. And then what's gonna happen there? You're gonna have to constantly check your sugars. You have to give yourself insulin, because as a type 2 diabetic, you're not insulin dependent, but you still have to give yourself insulin because your pancreas is somewhat shut down and it's not secreting enough insulin to counterbalance the sugar and the calories that you've just ingested in your body. So there's not enough insulin to produce to break and balance out the sugar levels in your body, especially if you eat a high calorie fast food meal, which has a lot of calories. It takes a lot of insulin to balance that stuff out, you know, and there's a real science behind this stuff too. But it's like, if you're not careful with it, it's gonna come back and bite you in the butt. And you know, it's not a good thing to deal with. You're lethargic, and if you're really not taking care of yourself, then that's gonna lead to a hospital visit. You know, you'll go into ketoacidosis, you'll possibly, and if at worst, you end up in a diabetic coma, and that's the last thing you want to do. And you know, thankfully, as a type 1 diabetic myself, I've never had any of those type of experience. I've experienced plenty of, you know, ketoacidosis and just symptoms of lows and high blood sugar levels and not eating correctly. However, it's just, it took a lot of time, because I was a young kid when I got diabetes. And I'm gonna get into the difference between type 1 and type 2, but in my experience as a diabetic, the symptoms are relatively the same. Whether you're a type 1, you're a type 2, or you're pre-diabetic, you know, you'll feel those lows, you'll feel those highs, your sugars will just be out of whack, and you're gonna be insulin dependent, and you're gonna need insulin, you know. But in this case, as a type 1, it's completely different. So as a type 1 diabetic like myself, type 1 diabetics is typically something that happens in your bloodstream, in your blood chemistry, and it's not something you can control. It just happened. Like, how I developed diabetes was pretty much a cause from, like, you know, my family. They had like especially my mom's blood chemistry, she had like a thyroid condition, and then it kind of, you know, it kind of passed on to me, and then it affected my blood chemistry to the point where my pancreas just stopped working. And then so when that happened, I started feeling the high blood sugar symptoms. I was, you know, I couldn't eat anything, I couldn't drink anything, because I would have to go to the bathroom to either puke it up or piss, and I had cramps and I had headaches, and I had all this vertigo. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And then at some point, I experienced ketoacidosis, and I ended up having to go to the hospital, and that's when I got diagnosed, and I was 7 years old when that happened. And, you know, and even after that hospital visit, I've experienced it many, many times, because I didn't know what to eat. I wasn't actively taking care of my body. So that's why when I got into the gym, it just really saved my life, because without it, I wouldn't be able to function. You know, even if I was to eat healthy on a regular basis, I still need to be active. I need to get my heart rate up. I need to get my metabolism moving. I need to have some type of activity to do something to keep my health running properly as it should, and also mentally as well, because I've been able to see things differently. I've been able to overcome a lot of hurdles, starting with the mentality, just building that resilience. And even as a diabetic, whether you're type 2 or type 1, you can live with it, you can manage it, but you have to be willing to put your foot down and say, my health matters, my life matters. I need to take care of it. And no matter what is going on in your life, the diabetes it won't limit you from what you can't do, from what you can or can't do. That's just my belief. You know, I went in to compete in several bodybuilding competitions. I'm over here, you know, where I've been working out since I was 12 years old, and just I have many other passions that I'm pursuing and things that I'm trying to achieve, and it's not slowing me down, and it shouldn't slow you down either. Now, it can be discouraging, especially if you haven't experienced it, and especially if you're getting used to everything and you're trying to manage your health. But once you get to that point where you manage your health and you realize how to treat your body and how to take care of yourself in a certain way, then you'll be fine. And then it's gonna build confidence, and you'll just realize, man, I can do this. I can manage my diabetes, and I can do what I gotta do. And that's what it comes down to. So that's just what I wanted to lay out. And you know, as a diabetic, you can't let it overcome you, because it is something that it can be depressing for a lot of people. A lot of people can be very discouraged, and it's very tough to deal with. It is a very tough thing to deal with. I've had it for over 15 years now. I was 7 years old when I got diagnosed, and I'm 24 now. And it's just something that I've just had to learn how to deal with. And it even took me a few years to manage it properly. And then it didn't start to take off until I was, you know, starting to work out. And then from there on, and I'm still learning stuff along the way too. But it's something that you build on, and you just get comfortable with and realize that this is your life, and I'm gonna make the most of it, and I can be the best. Now, if you're a type 2 or a pre-diabetic, this is something you can control. You can actually avoid this stuff. Just put the fast food down, get in the gym, exercise, and you'll not only see a difference in your health, but your mentality. You're gonna realize, man, my standards are gonna be a lot higher. I won't settle for less, because my health, my body, it matters. You know, I got things I want to accomplish in this world. So hopefully this sets the tone for you guys, and to all you guys on here that are diabetic, that are viewing this, you know, hopefully you guys relate to this, and hopefully you guys see the bigger picture, and just keep rocking on. And any questions or comments, you know, feel free to comment below. And you know, I will definitely respond to you guys, and you can always reach out to me on IG at evantoth_, and the link will be in the description. So I'm gonna leave the video here for today, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for all the love. Keep your heads up, stay strong.